Hello and welcome. I am going to show you guys today how to make these little wands. These were something I made for the birthday bag as part of the party favors, and I thought that would be a fun thing to show you guys. So the first thing I do is I make this crepe paper rosette, and here I've got a couple that I've already made. And what's different between these and the one I'm going to make you is it's got two layers, because I kind of like that this is a little bit more fluffy and has a little bit more dimension on it. So to do that, you'll need some streamers, a streamer of whatever color you'd like to use. And I'm still learning this technique, so it may not be perfect, and this is something that takes practice. But what you want to do is you want to grip it in the center of it at the base, and with your other hand you're just making little pleats, and you want to get a good grip on that center and kind of pleat and pivot as you go. And it's okay if it's not perfect. Like I said, this is something that just takes practice, and we're going to go all the way around. And it doesn't take very long to do. Just keep turning and pinching and keeping a firm grip on that center. And now we've made one pass, one circle. And let's see if I can back up a little bit. I like it kind of roughly. Just keep going and hanging on to that center and pinching and pivoting and rubbing your tummy and patting your head and just keep going, hanging on. And there are a lot of tutorials out there in YouTube land to show you how to do this. It is a well-loved technique, and like I said, practice makes perfect, and obviously I could use some more practice. And pinch, and we're almost there. In fact, we're there close enough. I'm just going to cut this off, and at this point I'm going to go a little bit, and then I like to just kind of fold in that end so it becomes a ruffle. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you want to hang on to it. And on the single row ones, I've used the Tim Holtz very small staple, and that works just fine. On something like this where you're going through all this, you need a regular size staple. So just kind of put it in there and give it a punch, and there you go. So now at this point, if you notice it's uneven and that bothers you, then what you can do is just give it a little trim. And just take your time. You don't want to give it too much of a haircut, then before you know it, you'll end up with a rosette the size of a dime. So just, I mean, if things aren't perfect, that just is a sign that it is handmade, right? So there we go. So then the next step on this is we're going to glitter it. And so how we do that is this is a very messy process. If you don't want glitter everywhere, you know, if you don't love glitter and you don't want to live with glitter, I suggest you just move on past this part. But I love glitter, and I certainly don't mind it. So I'm using art glitter, and which it's actually Art Glitter Company, and this is number 136. Chromosphere is the name of it, and it is gorgeous. Let's see where my camera hole is. Oh, wait, there. I don't know. Can you pick that up? Is that so beautiful? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I have a coffee filter, and I'm just going to pour a bunch of it in the center. Okay, and then I'm using my art glitter glue, and what I'm going to do is, this is kind of tedious. Make sure there's no dried glue at the tip. And what I'm going to do here is just squeeze a little bit of glue and run it along that edge. And it kind of takes you a couple passes to kind of get the hang of it, but you just kind of rub it across that cut edge. And I do a little section at a time, both sides. And like I said, you just take your time with this. There's no hurry. Except your glue does dry pretty quickly, so that's why we just do a little bit at a time. So there, I've got some glue on that section, and then I just kind of pounce it in that beautiful glitter and give it a tap, and there you go. Isn't that gorgeous? I don't know, can you see? Let's see, where am I? Ooh. Can you see that? Oh my goodness. It's so pretty in person. Let's see, I guess I should be over here a little bit more. All right, I'm still playing with this iPad, and hopefully you guys are going to hang in with me. It's a little different than using my cell phone, and I've changed my channel name to Mrs. Johnson's Mercantile, so hopefully that doesn't throw anybody. But these are very fun to make and very addictive. And like I said, you certainly don't need to glitter these rosettes. They're cute enough just on their own, but I don't know, there's something extra special about this. It's kind of a little bit more old-fashioned too. But I just squirt some glue out and kind of swipe it around, and I just go about that far. And again, then with this coffee filter, I just kind of tap it in there and make sure it's covered well. If I can see any white of that glue, then I know I've got to go back in for some more. Okay, so basically you do this all the way around, and you might want to have a piece of Teflon mat or a glass mat. My work surface underneath this, I usually don't work on this, but is glass, and I'm able to set it down. Then after a little bit, I just move it a little bit, and it dries pretty quickly. So I'm not going to waste any more time doing this right now, because I do have a finished one. So I am going to show you how easy it is to put all this glitter back into the jar. You just kind of fold it up like a taco and tap it in, and see, it all came back into this, and put the lid on, and there we go. Okay, so here I've got a finished one, and it looks so pretty. So the next part we're going to do is work on the front of this. So I already had prepared one of these, and what this is I found this happy birthday cake on the internet as a free image. So I cut and pasted it and resized it where it fit all on a sheet, and I cut it out with a 1 3/4 inch punch. And I think this beautiful punch is from Stamp It Up. And then the outside, the pink one, the pink part, that is an EK design punch, and this is 2 1/4, and that they both work out as a really nice size. Then what I had done, I had glued them with, I put a little bit of foam between them, foam tape. And then I took some stickles. I happen to love Stardust stickles. And then I just kind of squeezed them out and scratched it on there, on the candles and on that. I don't know if you can see how sparkly that is. Let's see. I don't know. It's really pretty in person. So, and that dries pretty quickly also. So then what I had done on this one that I am showing you is I use some eyelash trim. So this is where danger becomes involved, where we are going to be using a glue gun. And I'm kind of accident prone, for those who don't know me. So I I've got this plugged in ready, and I have discovered these little rubber fingers that are really wonderful. They're very thick, and so they protect me when I am gluing. So we're going to flip this over, and I'm going to put a little bead of glue down, kind of along the edge, not much. This is a fine tipped glue gun, and it works out perfect for this because you don't need a lot of glue. So what I'm doing is I'm putting this down just to get it started, and I make sure that the eyelash trim is kind of fanning away from it, because it's like yarn, so it will twist and turn. So with these fingers, I'm able just to go right in on that glue and hold it down, and it doesn't stick. And I just go a little bit more along that edge, and then I pull this around just where it touches into the glue, and then with my sturdy fingers I press it down and give it a wiggle, and there we are. And I continue doing this till we've gone all the way around. And there's another stretch. So this glue gun with the fine tip, I believe I got this at Michael's, and it's called, the company's Art Mines. And it takes just small glue sticks. This is one, so they're not very big. So we continue until we've gone all the way around. Mush. Yeah, this would be a little trickier to do without these fingers. I mean, I'm sure you could use like a the Tim Holtz one of these pointing things. This would probably help too, but this just makes it go quicker and easier. And we're just about to the front here again. And we overlap it. Give it a squeeze and a wiggle. And then we're just going to trim this off. Okay. And there we go. So it looks like just like a fun party. Okay. So then the next thing we're going to do is glue this down. Well, actually what we're going to do first is we'll glue the back and then we'll glue the front on. So on the back, it's just this, we're going to glue a straw on a round, and I've got that here. And so what I do, these are pretty sturdy paper straws, and you can get them anywhere. I give it a good squeeze. I want to flatten that out just a bit. And so what I do is I put a little glue on the base of that, on that flat edge, and just kind of find a nice spot to put it down in. And then I'm going to take this round and I'm going to put hot glue all the way around it. Okay, it's a fair amount. And I'm just going to kind of drop it on there. And we're just kind of covering this up. So that's kind of warm, so put it on there and just give it a moment. Okay, and then we're going to flip it around. And then on this side, we want to make sure that birthday cake lines up nice and straight. So I'm going to put another glue stick in here because this is winding down. Well, let's see. And just kind of go around in a circle. Okay, and then I just kind of drop it on there, and you have a little bit of wiggle time to make sure that's straight and centered. That looks lovely. And give it a squeeze. And there you go. How cute is that? Now, if I were going to make this for kids, like a kid party, so kids can be kind of rough on things, I would probably put a very skinny dowel the size of, maybe about this much of this stick, a cut dowel, and put it in there and put a little glue, and that way it's not going to break as easily. It's your straw is going to hold up for the kids. I'm making these for adults, so I'm not so concerned about that. I'm going to set my glue gun aside, and there are two ways we can finish this. This one is cute. What I had done, it's the same thing, except on the front, I put cupcake liner. I cut the center out and kind of gathered it and put a little disc, a paper disc, and glued it. And I put that between the crepe paper and the fun disc on top. And then I just tied some ribbons, and here's a little pom-pom trim. If I was going to do that, I had some here prepared of, this is the little old-fashioned ribbon seam binding, and here's some lace, and again, I could just tie that. It would be real cute just tied at the base of that and trim it. But I think I'm going to show you another way of doing it, and that's with this bow. And to make these bows, I just made it and then I glued it on there. It's quite simple. It is made with a bow-it-all. And hopefully I'm in frame and not too close for you guys to see this. And this is called a bow-it-all by Zetter, and it's the V3.0. And you can get these on Amazon, and there's tons of YouTube tutorials on how to make these. So I'm going to make this one a little quick. Let's see, I've got 4 loops on each side. So this is just how easy it is to make a perfect bow. It's 2 loops, 2, 3, and 4. I have 4 loops there and a little glue string. Okay. And then I take that part and go in the back and hold it with one hand. This back ribbon, I pinch in half and pull it over. Okay, then I swap hands with these tails. And then I just tie it once over around, and then I kind of hang on to them in the back, these tails, and kind of saw back and forth. Okay, and I'm making it really tight. Then I kind of hold them down as I pull this off. So I'm going to fluff these out so you can see what a cute bow that is. That's with 4 loops. It's cute with 3 loops or 2 loops or 1 loop. It makes a perfect bow every single time. Let's see, I'm going to just trim this off and get rid of the bow maker. And I'm going to cut an extra length of this. So now what I'm going to do is take this, and I am going to just glue this right on here. Now I should have put another length of this in there, and I'm just going to kind of pinch this in half and glue this on there. I'm finding my finger so I don't burn myself, at least not on YouTube. Okay, so I'm just going to folding it in half, putting a little dot of glue. Okay, and I'm just going to glue this on the back. Okay. There it is. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a dollop of glue right there. It's quite a bit of glue actually. And I'm just going to lay this right on top of that. Okay, I'm just going to give it a moment for that glue to set. In the meantime, I'm just going to go ahead and trim these. Trim the tails. And just trim them random lengths. That makes it kind of cute and fun. And let's see, there we go. Okay, so we're done. Isn't that adorable? So this is really cute if you had this tied onto a little package of candy, or you're making a goodie bag for somebody and to tuck it in there for an extra special smile. These are really cute during the holidays. I make fun ones for Halloween and Christmas, and everybody seems to really like them. So here we go. That's those two, and here's another style. Okay, well, I thank you for watching and hanging in there with me for this, and we'll see you next trip of YouTube. All right, bye.